Couple minutes left in the show. We're going to go to Twitter for a question. We have Bob who asks the question, Ron, tell me how the Steelers have improved their defense since last year. I can't see it.
Well, I think Mike Mitchell had a really bad year last year. I thought he had a good couple of years and then a bad one last year. He's not back, so it might be an addition by subtraction. They brought in Burnett, the safety from Green Bay, who they rave about. They draft Edmonds #1, who they really like. I'm not sold on John Bostic as the inside linebacker.
Nor am I.
I think they still have a real weakness at inside linebacker, but they're going to try to do it with hybrids, with safeties who can play down in the box. They think Edmonds can do that, Burnett can do that, maybe Sean Davis. I don't know that it's a good enough defense to win a Super Bowl. I think the offense is good enough, bringing Le'Veon back for another year. But I don't know about the defense, and it may be their shortcoming again, just like it was last year.
To Bob's point, it's really difficult to lose a guy like Ryan Shazier who did so many different things on your defense and try to replace one guy who did so many different things. So they're going to try to do it by committee, like you mentioned, whether it's safeties, whether it's John Bostic, whether it's Tyler Matakevich, and even a little bit of Vince Williams. They're going to have to mix these guys around doing different things and finding different things that these guys do. Because when you have a guy who was such a great run defender, such a great guy in coverage, and can blitz the passer from his position. So fast, so dynamic, and actually was so physical. You lose that. You lose so many different elements in one guy, and it's hard to replace them.
Yeah, I'd have liked to see what happened if he hadn't got hurt last year. I like to think maybe they would have had a chance. I think they could have, should have beat New England. Even that would have been without him, right? He got hurt early December. They played New England without him. They had a chance to win that game. Who knows what would have happened if they had him the rest of the year? We'll never know. But I mean, he's a dynamic player, and they got to figure out a way to move on.
Yeah, you're losing a playmaker, and playmakers aren't put in the box as far as certain things they do. When they're able to go and make those plays that change games, and you don't have it, I think it's just something that totally is hard to replace. Let's go back to the phone lines. Charles in Leechburg. Charles, you're on the Nightly Sports Call.
Yes, sir.
How are you, sir?
Yeah, am I on?
Yes, you are. What you got for us?
Okay, I want to talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Let's go.
Number one, Mr. Hayward on defense, a friend of my uncle from Don's Appliances. So I want to talk about the offense, and I'm going to tell you something. Watch out for the kid corner, and I don't care about Le'Veon Bell. He's going to go to a bum team without a good defensive line and a good offensive line and a good quarterback. Let him go.
All right, well, appreciate the call. He's ready to see Le'Veon Bell move on.
I'm not. I'm glad he's here. I think he's a dynamic player. You can't win with what you have on the roster running back now. If he gets hurt in the first game of the year, I don't think you have a real chance. You might win the division because it's so bad, but I don't think you have a chance to really win big in the playoffs. I think he's that valuable. Now, next year, you know he's not going to be there. You're going to have that money to use. You can either get another free agent. You can draft somebody. They'll be fine. This year they need him, in my opinion.
I would agree with that. I think if you're looking at running back by committee, I think that's something you look at next season with a guy maybe an option as a free agent or maybe someone else you draft. Jalen Samuels is a guy that you have to keep in mind, maybe not necessarily this year, but looking down the pike because he's a guy that can do a bunch of different things. Maybe James Conner having a specified role. So
he's got to stay healthy, though. That's the thing with him.
Which is why you're looking down the pike because so many things have to happen before you get to that point. But while you have him here, you use Le'Veon Bell while he's here. And you get the most out of him while you can, which, by the way, the most out of Le'Veon Bell, even a fraction of the most out of Le'Veon Bell is a lot more you're going to get than most running backs.
He's a great player, no doubt.
Absolutely. All right, we will take a break here. We will wrap up when we come back. Stick around.